the show starts right on Mustafar with Vader suiting up.
Yeah. I love that they just continued it straight off
That
the
was
bat.
pretty awesome.
They didn't waste
Was,
any
right?
freaking time. They were just like, boom, right where we left off.
And we have Obi-Wan freaking out in a panic attack. Again, Ewan's acting is just phenomenal. You could believe it. This man has, so far in the latest years, just had problems after problems and setbacks and failures and everything. He doesn't accomplish anything, to be honest. He just fails because he's just a man out of his luck, and nothing goes his way at all. Even when he finds out a Jedi on Tatooine, the Jedi gets killed instantly. I love this scene because it was just like felt like a breaking point, and we will know later that it was not even a breaking point yet.
Right.
So they're off to this planet. He gets found out by a probe droid, and this is the final confrontation with what I think is the first. I don't want to say final. First confrontation with Vader, because remember when they fight on the Death Star, it says, last time we met, I was the learner and you were the master. And didn't felt like a learner master. Obi-Wan got his ass wiped by Vader. It was not even funny.
Right.
Vader was just toying with him the entire time. Well, I mean, for 10 years, he's been honing his skills, getting stronger and stronger, and Obi-Wan's been living in a cave, not training. So Vader is terrifying.
Yeah, I feel like Vader is a killer whale playing with its food, and Obi-Wan is a seal that is old and like has a broken arm or something. So it's almost like he's just playing with his food, man. And I'm not gonna lie, this episode it was almost worse for me
Really?
than the first two. Yeah, a
Oh.
lot of people like those Darth Vader scenes, but I think they did better in every other live action thing they put him in.
I can tell you why. It's because it was filmed from TV and not for cinemas. They don't use the same cameras. So overall, it looked cheaper. And we're used to see Vader with big-ass cinema camera that looks awesome. And even if it was well filmed, it was not filmed as a movie. So it had a somehow cheaper TV look to it, which made Vader look less intimidating in my view. Imagine the exact same scenes filmed with the exact same angles and everything, but filmed like the camera they used for Rogue One, and you have a different. I'm pretty sure you have a different impression.
I don't know.
I think he looked intimidating and looked just fucking terrifying. He's basically just hunting Obi-Wan down across this field. And then when that fight actually is going on, he just force chokes him, knocks over this tub of flammable liquid, sparks his lightsaber, lights it all up, and then drags him face first through this fire.
Yes,
just
that was
toying with him. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
was Disney. Really? You're gonna do that? Please more. Please more.
That was fucking epic.
Yeah, I do like the intimidation, and I do think he looks intimidating, especially him walking down the street, and he's just like snapping necks of like little kids, and killing that kid's dad, and like that. I was like, oh my god, you better get out of there. I don't even know why he's peeking out the window right now. He's got to be booking it, because I just get that vibe if they like lock eyes somehow, that it's game on, and somehow they're just gonna feel in the force that they're looking at each other. But the reason why I say I didn't like the Darth Vader stuff that much this episode was because he looked scary as hell. But then when he sees Obi-Wan, he just stands there with his lightsaber, and they don't even do anything. And then Obi-Wan is like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna run away." Then he runs away, and Darth Vader does nothing. He just stands there.
I feel to me that Darth Vader was probably just disappointed because he's been like honing his revenge for 10 years. He was hyping himself. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. He chopped my legs. He let me there. I want. And then he meets this poor broken man That's not even fighting back. This is not even lighting his lightsaber. He just said, nope, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not even fighting you because you're going to fuck me up. And then Vader was probably just disappointed. That's it. That's it. I've waited all this time for that. That's the opposition. Yeah, no, okay. You just go away. Come back to me when you're more of a threat, because that was disappointing and boring. That's the way I saw it. Because the first time Vader lights the fire, then he turns off the fire instantly, because you know he's about to turn out the fire, and then the lady just shoots the thing and puts the fire up again, and Vader just says, he does nothing.
Yeah.
When
like,
we
like
just
he
saw that
could've
he's able
very
to
easily-
turn off the fire instantly. He just could put him back with the Force. He could do so much thing, and just looks at him and he lets him go, which to me felt like either dumb writing, which this series have not done so far in my view, or some kind of, yeah, this is not the fight I was hyping myself to be. I'm so disappointed. That was too easy. Come back to me when you're ready. I want to deserve wiping your ass.
Yeah, I could see that. It just, I could see that, especially like talking about it more. It just felt like, why aren't you grabbing him? Like, you're making eye contact with the droid that is literally picking him up off the ground right now. Why aren't you like force grabbing literally anything over there and dragging it into the fire or something? So I could see that, and I'm hoping that's what they go for and make it more obvious in for episodes to come. And
What do you think, Agaton? Why do you think he just let him go? You think I'm onto something?
I
or?
honestly, no, I was kind of thinking the same thing as what you were saying. It's just staring at him like, all right, let him go, and I'll hunt him down again, and maybe it'll be worth more next time.
which makes me think Darth Vader's definitely going to kill Reva in this series,
I think so,
because Reva's going to be relentless and be like, all right, I want to kill him right now. I got to kill him ASAP. Whereas Darth Vader's like, no, I want this to be at the right thing. I want to do the right stuff to him. I want to torture him, make him suffer. This is my kill anyways. And just like that motive. So I really think Reva's going to get smacked by Darth Vader. And
That's
she's going to
wouldn't
be
be
even
the-
more heartbroken because she wouldn't expect it from him.
Wouldn't
When
be the
she's doing
first
so good.
Inquisitor he's killed, so
yeah.
Nor
This-
the last, I'm pretty sure.
No, because Rebel takes place after this show. So one fine line they have to walk on is that, first of all, Vader, if I'm not wrong, in A New Hope thinks Obi-Wan is dead, but also Vader in his mind remembers Obi-Wan like last time they met, he was the master. So they're gonna have to have another fight where Obi-Wan comes out on top, but then seemingly dies. Which I don't know how they're gonna do that. So that Vader feels like he got bested, but also thinks Obi-Wan died. So I don't know. Maybe he's gonna get bested by Obi-Wan. Reva's gonna come and injure him, and then he's gonna say, "What the fuck?" and just kill Reva. And then he's gonna think Obi-Wan's dead, leave him there to die, and Obi-Wan's gonna survive.
You know, I really, as I'm thinking about this, I really think this might happen, what I'm about to say. On episode 6 is Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader to end the series. And whether that happens in the middle of the episode or right at the end, I don't know. But, like, I feel like they're going to do something similar to how Ahsoka and Darth Vader were fighting in Rebels, where Darth Vader kills Reva, that's over with. Now they start battling. And then Obi-Wan outsmarts him again and damages his suit. And I don't think he's going to get it to a point where he's just standing over him and chooses not to kill him or anything. But I think his suit's going to get damaged. And then you're going to hear Hayden Christensen's voice
Yeah.
without that voice over anymore. Because they've been hyping up Hayden Christensen way too much to give us a split-second hallucination of his face. They might do more flashbacks, which would be cool too. But I also would think it would be super cool to see on the big screen, because they did it in Rebels where they did the voice actor for Clone Wars Anakin. You heard his voice when that helmet was slashed. So I think that's going to happen. And they did a whole build-up scene of Darth Vader getting suited up, which everyone loves. But we've kind of seen that before when he first got suited up. And so maybe they're showing it again to show you how human he is and how not human he is at the same time. So
I think we're definitely going to see like part of the mask blown off, and you're going to see Hayden Christensen's face underneath.
And then what can Darth Vader do about that other than be like, damn, I'm going to die soon if I don't fix this and leave?
Yeah, and you're right. Why else would they bring Aiden back? Because they could technically put virtually anyone into the suit. When you look at Mandalore, the Mandalorian show, Pedro Pascal is not in the suit like 90% of the time. He's just doing the voiceover, and it's a stunt person, probably a stunt man in the suit. He was in the suit for the first episodes, and then he got contracts for other movies and just ended up not being there anymore, just coming for the voiceover or the like rare, very, very rare scene when he puts out his helmet. So it's weird that he's getting credited for playing Din Djarin because he's not even playing him anymore at all. He's just doing the voice.
Oh, but he will.
He will?
We should do season 3 predictions closer to when it comes out. Because I think he's going unmasked for a good chunk.
Do you think Vader can turn off his breathing noise? Or does he just stop breathing? Because there's many points where he just kind of sneaks and he pops out of nowhere next to Obi-Wan. And I was watching in a group, and sometimes I said, there's no way Vader can sneak on Obi-Wan because there's a breathing. And just as soon as I say that, I get proven wrong with Vader just popping up out of nowhere. Like, surprise, motherfucker. And just, like, I'm right there in front of you, but you didn't hear me.
Well, if you could turn on and off, there would be no advantage to having it on. So
he's just not breathing.
That's my only assumption. Yeah, I don't know. And so him sneaking up is weird too, because he's in the middle, not the middle, but like he's walking up from no cover.
Yeah. With
this big ass lights on his chest in the pitch black, and somehow he's just appearing out of nowhere. The distance or the brightness of those lights must be so small. Like I was thinking about that. Let alone his breathing. So
one thing that I noticed, and probably someone who's is more knowledgeable about cinema than we can explain to me, and this is not a Star Wars proper problem, because I've noticed that for the last 5 or 10 years on the many shows, Star Trek, many shows, when it's dark and you have a blue source of light, it kind of creates some weird artifacts on the image. And at first I thought it was like my connection going bad. So when Obi-Wan lights his lightsaber, you know what I'm talking about? It's just weird, right? And it happens everywhere these days. I don't know if it's the camera or the way, but when Obi-Wan turns on his blue lightsaber, there's some kind of weird light going on, and it just looks so, I don't know. So
I can see it in my head. I don't know. I don't recall it having so much on this. I'll have to rewatch it, 'cause maybe it might be like the connection or quality in what you're watching it too.
No, because I've watched many other videos, and it happens to me on many other shows, any movies. It seemed to be specific to dark blue in a dark area, like the camera they're using right now for the last years to and it's not just in Star Wars. It happens everywhere.
Right. They do a good job in Force Awakens. I like the light play they have with Rey and Kylo in the dark.
True, it doesn't happen.
And with their eyes. Oh my god! When I first watched that, I was like, my god, look at their eyes and the color. It's so nice. But there wasn't as much nice lightsaber stuff from Obi-Wan. But it's not supposed to be, because he hasn't touched that thing in 10 years, and now he's all of a sudden pulling it back out.
I'm gonna ruin it for you. I've watched an interview with Ewan and Aiden Christensen that came out very recently. They were talking about the new lightsaber prop they're using right now, which are something like the one you have, something that's actually a light that illuminates. It's not just a stick and an effect they add at the end. It's actually, and they they both said they fucking hate it and they dislike it so much because they said it's so flimsy and they cannot hit each other properly with that because it just breaks, and they break all the time. So that's why they say we're not going to be, thank you by the way, Chicken Tenders, thank you so much for the follow. They're not going to be able to have some fights, and they said we're not going to be able to fight like before, because before we're just hitting ourselves very hard with these wooden sticks and clack clack clack, and then they say everything you have to think about is don't be too hard because you're going to break it, and apparently these things cost a fortune. So I think the fights might be lackluster due to the fact of the props they're using and they cannot hit them.
Yeah, I've seen the bonus footage for Ewan and Hayden practicing with their lightsabers on the trilogy that they did, and it looked like they were having fun, and it looked like they were smacking the shit out of each other with that.
Yeah.
And the choreography was great. And then I've seen the lightsaber you're talking about. I think it is similar, if not like very much the same to the one I have, and I feel so scared with that because I feel like I'm just gonna break. I'm gonna break it if I even like lightly tap it.
You would not play with a friend that has a lightsaber. Like, you're just like fucking eating the shit out of each other. Like, tack. You say, I'm gonna break it. I pay like $300 for that. I'm gonna break it.
Right, but there are specific ones for battling, but even then, that you're sacrificing durability for how good it lights up, and so I don't know. I think they should have stuck with the old way, which it still looks crispy to have that lightsaber. Like, it still looks great and crispy. And speaking of crispy, Chicky Tenders is a great username. So yeah,
It is.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I love the fact that you have in real life illumination, so the lightsaber now actually lights up the scene, which is great. But if it comes to the cost of having good fights and the actors cannot hit each other properly, even in these little fights that they had on this episode, there's like 2 moments where they clash lightsabers together. Most of the time, it's just Obi-Wan just running away because trying to evade because he's just being chased by a monster. The 2 times he blocks, I've watched, you see a shot of Vader like swinging, and just before the impact, the camera changed point of view, and then you have a different point of view, a different camera that says the two lightsabers already being clashed together. So they don't even show the blades smashing in it. They have to shoot the motion, and then the next point of view shows them being together, which is not something we had in a prequel. They were just actually doing with a fixed camera for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
And these guys are good at it, right?
Or they were.
Brittany,
Been-
thank you so much for
We're
the follow.
17 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a very long time, so I wouldn't hold it against them if they weren't any good at it anymore, to be honest. Which kind of helps Obi-Wan character, you know, because he's not supposed to be very good at it right now. But and then I also think they're purposely making Darth Vader's movements more stiff because it'll blend it better with the original trilogy, and then he is in a way less free suit than he was before.
Yeah.
And then I'll mention it for you. Thanks, Brittany P95 for following Asparagus.
What do you guys think about the James Earl Jones? Were you happy to hear the voice?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's something different. The voice, they
think
brought
I
him
know.
back for Rogue One, and it was not good. There was something wrong with it. I cannot point what. And for this one, it was good. I liked it so much.
I think they almost, to me, I think it almost sounds like James Earl Jones. Okay, think about this. They gave James Earl Jones and Hayden Christensen the same lines. They had them both speak it, and they layer them together, and they crank James Earl Jones 80% and put Hayden Christensen in at 20% and mesh them
Okay.
together. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's what it almost sounds like to me. Because I swear I hear Hayden's voice in there.
You hear
Which
Hayden?
would be cool. Which would be cool if they did that or something like that.
I watched it with someone on the chat, and they told me the same. They said that's Aiden's voice with a effect on it. And then I watched it, and they announced it was, for the most part, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, and it also says Darth Vader, James Earl Jones, and Hayden Christensen. Yet, I guess we've seen him with a shit ton of makeup and
Yeah.
stagecraft or whatever you call it on his face, so he looks unrecognizable. But I don't know if they're giving him credit for voice acting too. So, oh well, it was a good episode. It was great.
It was awesome. It was
When-
it was almost my favorite one. Just
Yeah,
the hype of the first one. The first one was the best. Third was the second, and second was third in my view. And you guys gonna
from-
say Gaetan about episode 3?
I was like, for me, they keep getting better as they go. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
just getting more excited about them with everyone. So
If they put Quinlan Voss in any of this
Oh,
smoothly, it's gonna be a 66 out of 66 for that episode.
absolutely.